Hello and welcome to another Pauper video. I'm Kalikaiz. Today I'm playing Pili-Pala combo. This goes infinite with Careful Cultivation, giving you infinite colors or infinite mana of any color whatsoever. Once you have infinite mana, you can just draw your deck with your draw spells like Fanatical and Eviscerator's Insight, look through it with Malevolent Rumble, spew out a few Chrysalis, and then potentially make a hasty dragon with infinite power or drain your opponent infinitely. This list just 5-0'd yesterday from Koldotha Red, who is in the Familiars Discord and talked about their list. They're playing 5 Duress effects with 4 Temporal Intervention and 1 Duress in the main deck, a few safekeeping, so they have 8 protection spells. They have Urborg Repossession to rebuy the Pili-Pala and the Careful Cultivation at the same time. 2 Engine Rats. They said that Engine Rat as a 1/1 Death Touch is quite good versus potentially Terror. And then their sideboard is focused on decks that are not Madness Burn. So Pyroblast for blue, Breath Weapon for the mono red rally deck. Troublemaker Oof can handle things like munitions. A couple of Weather the Storms make sense, and then some Fairy Macabres for Spy. They said that the mono red rally or mono red Madness matchup is somewhat unwinnable, so they're not even going to try. In this deck, Bitter Reunion can be put on the table and then give your Pili-Pala haste, because it can't combo off on the turn it's played, but if it has haste, you can do that. The mana base has 4 landscapes, a bunch of basics with 2/2, and then essentially 6 swamps, 3 Colony Garden, and 4 Cliffgate. I think they chose Cliffgate because sideboard-wise, you have all these red spells, so I guess that makes sense to me. It'll be interesting to see how it plays. I'm excited to get into some Pili-Pala action. We will see you in the matches. Thanks for watching. Did you know you could get sideboard guides on patreon.com/Kalikaiz? And did I mention you can get early access to videos on the YouTube page in the membership section? And if you like these videos, make sure to like and subscribe. All right, game 1, we are on the draw versus Proteina. We're going to keep. We have a Cliffgate on green, so we'll have red, green, black. Turn 2, Rumble. If we draw a Chrysalis, we can play it on turn 3. Assuming the Rumble goes off. If not, we can crack the landscape for a land and then Rumble or Eviscerator's Insight, sacrificing the spawn potentially. Our opponent has mulligan to 5. Now, if I just randomly top deck a Pili-Pala, we would have infinite mana on turn 3 with the cultivation. Our opponent plays a Fairy Seer on turn 1. I'm not sure how my matchup goes against fairies, but I do know that Writhing Chrysalis is a pretty good anti-fairies card. Our opponent went top bottom. They almost assuredly have a ninja in their hand. The London Mulligan allows them to do that pretty easily. We're going to go red green here and have all of our colors. They play a second Fairy Seer. I guess they're looking for a ninja. They go bottom bottom. Gets in. And nothing. I think I'm going to attempt this Rumble. Spell Pierce would get me. It'd be surprising if they kept Spell Pierce. Let's take the Wellspring and pass the turn. Our opponent plays a 3rd island. Gets in for 2. We will take that. I guess I go for the Duress, and then they Spell Stutter. One neat thing is you can crack the spawn to turn on the Void for the Temporal Interventions. Although we milled 2 of them over, so we only have 2 more Duress effects in our deck with just Temporal Interventions left. They Spell Stutter Sprite the Duress. Makes sense. Let's play out a Wellspring. We found the Pili-Pala. It's on. So let's see if they pick up their Spellstutter Sprite with a ninja. They get in. I suppose I can't really afford to... well, I can try a Bitter Reunion. See if they have another Spellstutter. Feels like yes. Or they snap their Spellstutter. Then they're going to replay the Spellstutter. And then we get to go Pili-Pala, play the Colony Garden. This doesn't play around 4 spike. Pili-Pala, Colony Garden. So my plan probably is going to be to Eviscerator's Insight, sacrificing the Wellspring, see if they counter that, and then go Careful Cultivation on the Pili-Pala, getting infinite mana. We want to keep the landscape in hand so we can cycle it. They get in for 3, 2 cards in hand. We go to 11. Still no ninjas for them. They could certainly have snaps though. I'll try Eviscerator's Insight on the Wellspring. This is something they would probably counter, but maybe not. They do not counter. So that's going to resolve. I will attempt the cultivation. resolves. Let's make infinite mana. So I'm spam clicking with holding the W key. It's just going to make a bajillion green. And then after I get to around 100, I will spam click the mana sources, and then it'll essentially just filter back down. Because right here, tapping and untapping, holding the W just is continuing to try to make white as I untap. Zero. And then I will float a bunch of black and float a bunch of red. We'll cycle a landscape. Cycle a landscape. Jam a Chrysalis. Okay, now it's going to be hard for them to win. We haven't fully comboed them out, but we are pretty ahead. I'll try a Malevolent Rumble. Take the Wellspring. Herborg Repossession goes to the graveyard. Play a Wellspring. We can Viscer's Insight from the graveyard. Sacrifice the Wellspring, draw some cards. Draw 3 cards. Another Chrysalis. Boom. I'm comboing. It's just like a value combo at this point. Let's Viscer's Insight, sacrificing a random spawn. Chrysalises will get bigger. We'll draw 2 cards. We'll cast a Malevolent Rumble. Take another Chrysalis. Okay. Cast the Chrysalis. 3 Chrysalises on the table. Viscer's Insight again. Okay, they conceded. That was good. Nice start for sure. So our sideboard cards mostly include Pyroblast, I would imagine. And we don't really need the Engine Rat. I think Pyroblast is going to take the Tamiyo's safekeeping role. So we can afford to bring in some more cards. I wonder if I want to trim on anything else, like maybe the Duress. Some number of Breath Weapon coming in. I could also cut the Repossession. Bring in another Breath Weapon. So I'm just like a removal deck that'll eventually combo or plop a Chrysalis and win through that. That seems fine. Let's go. All right, so we're on the draw here. This is pretty bad, probably. We're not going to accomplish too much. I think I mulligan. Okay, I think this is a fine keep. We can Cliffgate on red and then crack the landscape and temporal intervention them. Get rid of the Careful Cultivation. We are looking to try and get them with a Breath Weapon or something. They mulligan to 6. They play a Fairy Seer. We'll go red-green, like Cliffgate on red-black. Or we'll start on red-black, and see what happens. Another Temporal Intervention. Play the Cliffgate on black. If I go black again, I can double Duress them on turn 3. They get in for 1. They flip a Ninja. So we want to get rid of their counterspells, I guess. Anything that counterspell the Writhing Chrysalis. Play the Cliffgate on black again. And then we'll have to sacrifice the landscape for green. Our opponent's going to get in. Moon Circuit Hacker will allow them to draw and discard after they hit us down to 16. They discard an island. Play a Fairy Seer. I'm hoping to find another land off the top soon. Play the landscape. I will sacrifice the landscape for a forest. That is a pretty neat interaction. Now I can just temporal intervention them for 1. Oh, only for lands? Oh, that sucks. That did not work out at all. Okay. That was a big whoops. A non-land permanent Kalikaiz. Okay, that was so bad. Fair enough. We're looking for a land here. I've thrown this game pretty badly. Wow. Moon Circuit Hacker will trigger. We're at 13. They discard a Bind the Monster. I think I have to try to Breath Weapon them on their turn to make them tap low and then go pick a Wellspring, hopefully temporal, like Fanatical the Wellspring. They're getting in. They go to attacks. I will cast a Breath Weapon. They have a Hydroblast. Or a Dispel, maybe. Or a Spell Pierce. They go Blue Blast. I'm super dead. Opponent goes to discard. Discarding a Snap. The only thing I can do is attempt to cast a Wellspring. And then concede. Because I have really messed this one up. They allow it to happen. Okay. We have a Pyroblast. I mean, I guess it's not over then. They get in for 3. We take it. We go to 7. Best top deck is a land still. Any untapped land. Opponent casts an Of One Mind. Okay. We go to 7 cards in hand. We find a mountain. So do I just jam the Chrysalis? I'm going to Fanatical Offering the Wellspring. We draw a land. They go Dispel. I'm going to Duress you. I guess I'm really looking to take the Spell Setters so that they can't Spell Setter a Pyroblast. They choose to counterspell the Temporal Intervention. Okay, then I will Pyroblast your counterspell. And we will take, I guess, Find the Monster. I don't like where we are right now. They play a Fairy Seer. They have Hacker Ninja. They get in for 3. I'm going to go to 4. They flip the Ninja, the Moon Circuit Hacker. This puts me to 3 life. I guess I play the Colony Garden. And then put this Chrysalis onto the table, hoping they didn't draw a counterspell. They discarded a Ninja the Deep Hours. Alright, they got me. A lot of things went wrong there. Mostly my fault. I think I will still resubmit the way I sideboarded. Alright, we are on the play. We have to mulligan. So what do I do here? If I draw, I'm gonna keep this, get rid of the breath weapon, play out a Colony Garden and pass. I'm hoping to draw a black source or a red source. I think I can do it. So turn 1 they play a thing, turn 2 they ninja the thing, I get to play the Wellspring, I get another card draw. They play a Fairy Seer. I play a Colony Garden. Pass the turn. Now I could Pili-Pala on the next turn and then attack with the Pili-Pala and untap it to make a different colored. It sort of feels like they're just going to hold up interaction and I'm going to die because I can't cast anything. Let's see what they do. They attack for 1. I was banking on drawing a land. I did draw land. Let's attempt to cast Temporal Intervention. They flash in a Gale Blade. So they've got a Null, Miscreant, Sprite, Steel Sabotage. I will take your Spellsetter Sprite. And an island they have. So they're going to play the Miscreants. They play a Fairy Seer that they just drew. And no Sprite in hand. They go top. That's scary. Gets in for 2. We find a Cliff Gate. We can put it on red. Oh no, it's already on red. So put it on black. I will Eviscerate inside a plant while I have time. And then pass the turn. We almost can do the Careful Cultivation Pili-Pala thing. Steel Sabotage and a Null. So a Null counters an artifact or enchantment. Sabotage counters an artifact or returns it to its owner's hand. They get in for 3. They're going to flash in Big Ninja. We'll go to 13. We have double Pyro. I'll play the Landscape. Play the Pili-Pala. I will play the Ichor Wellspring. Trying to draw a land. But maybe they're just going to hold open double Annul. They cast the Annul. I'll just Pyro your Annul. We draw a Wellspring. So we know they have Miscreant in hand and Fairy Seer. We're going to block the Ninja. They have Steel Sabotage. They might Steel Sabotage my Pili-Pala right now. Plays a Fairy Seer. So they might have not just sabotaging this Fairy Seer, the Pili-Pala is like being a little bit greedy. I'm going to block. They don't do anything. I'll attempt to Careful Cultivation the Pili-Pala. They have the Annul, or the Steel Sabotage. I will respond. They have another. They have a Dispel. That really sucks for me. That really sucks. So, pass, I guess. Now they get to draw another card. They have Miscreant in hand. They'll go up to 3 cards, and then the only way I can win is just by going... I could rip a Chrysalis. They have another Ninja the Deep Hours. So they're drawing, I guess, blind, and we just have to hope that it's not a counterspell. But I don't know if we can win anyway with what we have, because we can block, take 4. We have a Stormshriek Feral. Play the Pili-Pala. Make it a 2/4. Hope for the best. So they have to not have a Ninja in hand, or a Snap, or a tap down spell. That's a lot of it. That's a lot of questions. A lot of things that have to go right. I mean, they had a lot of things going right already. If they have a Snap, I will concede. Opponent knew how to play the game. I completely threw in game 2. We'll see what happens in round 2. We're in round 2. Try to play a little bit better this time. I've got I guess a turn 2 Malevolent Rumble into potential Chrysalis on turn 3. Double Engine Rat. Our opponent mulligans to 5. Another Chrysalis. Let's play the landscape and pass the turn. Our opponent played a Swamp on turn 1. White-black. So they're like an Orzhov removal discard deck. We're going to fetch out a mountain. Play a land. We're going to rumble, looking for land. So I will have to take the Vault of Whispers. Even though I really wanted the Careful Cultivation, I'll pass the turn. This means turn 3 I Chrysalis. They can just cast down my Chrysalis, I guess. So maybe I wait until I have another green source to play through the cast down with the safekeeping. They could also Tithing Blade my spawn here. They don't Tithing Blade the spawn. Just gonna jam the Chrysalis. Next turn I can sacrifice a spawn, Temporal Intervention you for 1 mana, and then play a Chrysalis. They play a Refurbished Familiar. I'll discard 1 Engine Rat. I guess with 3 cards, it sucks for them to have to pay 4 mana for a Refurbished Familiar. That's not really something you see every day. Repossession can return Cultivation or the Rat. Let's sacrifice, play a Chrysalis, hit you with the Temporal Intervention. We'll take your Skyfisher and get in for 4. So they're playing Mardu. They kept a hand with really poor colors. They've got a Synthesizer and a Tithing Blade in hand. We're going to beat them fairly, I think. Next turn I just play the Engine Rat, most likely. We can hold up safekeeping. Yeah, they've conceded. I mean, they had to do what they had to do because they mulliganed to 5. Troublemaker Oof seems good here. And then maybe we don't need... I'm going to think what I don't need. Maybe I don't need the Reunion. I'm hesitant to ditch card draw spells, though. I'm going to try playing no Engine Rats. See if that'll work. It could be stupid, but I'm going to try it. Alright, this seems fine. We're on the draw. Our opponent leads on a red-black land. I'll play a forest, pass the turn. So turn 2, I rumble, looking for a red land, or potentially the Pili-Pala to go infinite. Because we have the Tamiyo's safekeeping, although safekeeping doesn't stop it from getting hit with a Tithing Blade. They Cleansing Wildfire their land. They have double red and a black, so they must have white in hand. I'll play Vault of Whispers and Malevolent Rumble. I will take the landscape here, mostly because I really want to start casting Chrysalises. Ichor Wellspring was another option, though. Like, that would have given me a card draw. Sort of just doing card selection at the moment. They play a Synthesizer, finding a Galvanic. Guess they can Galvanic my spawn if they want. Plays out the Rustvale Bridge, so they had white sources in hand. Next turn, they're just going to start slamming creatures. They go Galvanic Face, putting me to 16. Play a landscape. I will fetch, grabbing a mountain, and then cast another Rumble. I'll take the Stormshriek at this point. Pass the turn. So this turn I'm going to play out the Chrysalis with Safekeeping as a backup card. I could work up to Bitter Reunion plus hasting everything. Our opponent is going to maybe... Well, they cast into the fire my Vault of Whispers. Sure. It's pretty aggressive. I mean, maybe they brought in the cast into the fire for the Pili-Pala specifically. We have exactly 2 Vault of Whispers. We drew one of them and we got it wrecked. Maybe they have another cast in the fire for the spawns. They do. Okay. Let's play a land. Pass the turn. I can discard the Careful Cultivation on their end step to make a 1/1. And then on my turn, I have that 1/1's mana to cast the Chrysalises and then hold up the Safekeeping. Or I just jam the Chrysalis. They Synthesizer. Finding a Rustvale Bridge. They played it. Another Synthesizer from the opponent. And they find a core Skyfisher, which can pick up the Synthesizer. Now they're off to the races. They've got their value train going. But whatever they exile here is probably not going to work out for them. They exile a bridge. They can't use the bridge. Going to just channel the Cultivation. My turn. Cast a Writhing Chrysalis. Deal with it. They Synthesizer. Finds a Tithing Blade. And we can just sacrifice a spawn. They play the Tithing Blade. Okay, we'll sacrifice a spawn, which triggers the Writhing Chrysalis. It becomes a 3/4. They try a cast down, go for the throat, destroy target non-artifact creature, and we've got the safekeeping. So even if they have a Galvanic, then we can sacrifice the spawn. They also did that pre-combat, allowing me to block the Core Skyfisher. They cast a Glinthawk to pick up the Tithing Blade. Okay. So the only thing in their hand is a Tithing Blade. They can't currently attack. We draw a Twisted Landscape. Maybe I want to play that, and then just get another red source and play out the Chrysalis. I'll play the Landscape. I'll attack. I am not afraid. Our opponent takes 3. Alright. Yeah, I think with what I have, I want to sacrifice 4 red so that I can be able to cast the Feral and the Bitter Reunion from hand. Bitter Reunion, probably one of the better things to cast here. They sacrifice, they're going to cast into the fire my spawn and my monk. I'll sacrifice the spawn, getting a trigger. Then I'll tap the monk for mana. Not that it matters. I'll sacrifice the Landscape, grabbing a mountain. Our opponent will sacrifice the Synthesizer and exile a Glinthawk. So now the Glinthawk can pick up the Synthesizer, and then they're adding to the table. So Engine Rat not being in the deck means that it's very difficult for me to actually win the game, I suppose. Plays a Glinthawk, because I just have to keep attacking them. Assuming I do at some point combo off. Plays a Rustvale Bridge. We've used 1 safekeeping so far. They returned the Rustvale Bridge with the Glinthawk. They did not return the Synthesizer, because they didn't want to lose anything to exile. They currently have 8 power on the table, so I don't really want to... I'm going to Bitter Reunion, and discard an extra swamp. Find a Cliffgate, so I can go Cliffgate on black. Let's Stormshriek Feral flush out, discarding a swamp. Cliffgate on black. Then I will start passing. Next turn, if they don't cast the Tithing Blade, we can sacrifice a spawn by hitting it with the Eviscerator's Insight, and then Temporal Intervention to get rid of the Tithing Blade. But I might want to save the Temporal Intervention. They crack another Synthesizer, finding a go for the throat. Okay. I'm sort of surprised that they're playing that instead of cast down, but maybe they're afraid of the legendary Spider-Men. My Chrysalis is dead. Going to start with the Eviscerator's Insight on the spawn. Make my Chrysalis bigger. Troublemaker oofs. So let's discard you. Get rid of your Tithing Blade. Wonder if I should oof the Synthesizer? I think it makes sense. I'm gonna bargain the spawn and then oof the Synthesizer just to get that off the table. They exile the 4th Synthesizer. I think I'm going to just play the swamp and pass. The Galvanic Face. Okay, did I know they had a Galvanic in hand? I did. How did I not know that? Weird. I thought I saw Wildfire Tithing Blade. Cast the Wildfire. They're sending in the team. So I'll block the 2/3 and a token. We have a Fanatical Offering. I can sacrifice the Bitter Reunion to exile land if I really want to. Let's cycle this Landscape. Play Colony Garden. I'll just guess I will bargain. Sacrifice. Maybe not. Like, what do I really want to get rid of? I'm just going to put the Troublemaker Goof on the table so I can hit it with the Fanatical Offering. Or maybe not. I don't. I think I can block with the plant and then Fanatical the plant. Opponent's turn. They choose to put me to 6 by attacking in. I'll block and block. I think maybe playing the Troublemaker Oof was a mistake. They're going to cast into the fire. What's going on? Then Lightning Bolt. I'm going to Fanatical, sacrifice the plant. We found Pili-Pala. Looks like my Chrysalis is going to die. We have another Colony Garden. 1, 2. If I sacrifice the map and I find Cultivation, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we have infinite. Well, it's Eviscerator's Insight, the map. On Urborg Repossession. Turn creature card. Gain 2 life. If the spell was kicked, return another target permanent card. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. Repossession, cast with kicker, target Chrysalis, target Careful Cultivation, play Wellspring, finding another Careful Cultivation. I'll play the Colony Garden and pass. Let's see what my opponent draws. They're going to attack for just 2. We go to 6. Find a Vault of Whispers. I'm going to attempt to play the Pili-Pala and the Cultivation. Okay. Let's crack the Bitter Reunion, I guess. Give it haste. Alright, we have infinite mana. Now I have to win before, like, timing out. And I also have to win before decking. I guess if I can find the Stormshriek Feral and another safekeeping, then I'm all good. I'm all good. Red. Put the Chrysalis on the table. We've entered combo time. Insight. Draw 3 cards. Okay, we found a safekeeping. Another Pili-Pala. Play another Pili-Pala. Suit it up with the Careful Cultivation. It doesn't matter that much this turn. Visitor's Insight. We'll sacrifice the plant. Draw a Wellspring. We'll draw a card with the Wellspring. Visitor's Insight. We'll make black. Draw 3 cards with the Wellspring. Another Pili-Pala. We can check what's in their hand with the Temporal Intervention. Up lanes. Play a Pili-Pala. And another one. We'll make black and a Visitor's Insight. Just sacrifice a spawn. We have another Temporal Intervention. Another Visitor's Insight. Let's Visitor's Insight, sacrificing a spawn again. Chrysalis gets bigger. It doesn't have haste. The only thing that has haste is a Pili-Pala and the Troublemaker Oof. We find another Chrysalis. So that gives me more targets for my Visitor's Insight. Another safekeeping is good as well. Like, I don't really think I need too much here to continue going. Let's Visitor's Insight, sacrifice the spawn, see if I can't find my dragon. We have 6 cards, or after this we'll have 6 cards left in deck. Okay, we couldn't find the dragon. We can Careful Cultivation on another Pili-Pala. And then go ahead and attack. And then I'm going to untap this and make green. My comboing was putting a bunch of stuff on the table. On turn 11. Alright, opponent, what have you got? Looks like they're passing the turn. There's the Stormshriek Feral. So just make some mana. Hit you with the Temporal Intervention. See if there's anything that you drew. They go Bolt Face. Alright, we go to the 3. Temporal Intervention will resolve. I'll just play out the Colony Garden, gives me another thing. Play the Stormshriek Feral. And I will attack. Let's see how they want to block. Might just not be lethal. I mean, we might just have lethal regardless. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 13. Sacrifice. And we will tap this forest. Untap. We win Grixis on turn 12. We'll see in the round 3. Now we're here in round 3 versus Ivern OP. Lately they've been playing, or they have been trophying with blue-green fog. Let's see if that's what they're doing today. We would have a really good matchup if that's the case. But if they're not playing fog, we might have a terrible matchup because they likely play burn. Let's mulligan. We found so engine rats and Windcon. We don't really need it. I think I can just put that back. They're on island, Fairy Seer. Fairy Miscreant, I mean. Not amazing. Play Swamp Pass. So we lost to fairies in round 1. Just really misplaying, I think. They've got to turn to Moon Circuit Hacker. Replays the Miscreant. So what happens if I play the Pili-Pala? Guess I'm just going to play the Pili-Pala. If they tap out and we draw the Cultivation, we just win. They're getting in. Okay, I'll take it. I think post-board I want Breath Weapon, Pyroblast. Moon Circuit Hacker. We put us to 15. They discard a Brine Barrow Intruder. Glad I didn't block there. Let's play a Swamp. This is such a bad spot because nothing is really working from this position. They flash in a Gale Blade. Flash in a Spell Center. Yuck. Casting an Of One Mind. Plays a land. Gets in for 5. We go to 10. They discard an island. They play a Miscreant. That gets to draw them a card. I am so buried right now. I have no red sources. I have nothing going on. All of these things are 2 drops that get just destroyed by a Spell Center. I will attempt a Wellspring. If they spell certain hand, I will concede. I will just straight up concede. Fine. They didn't even cast a spell yet, and I was about to concede. I'm so ready. Another safekeeping that doesn't do anything. Their turn. They play land. I will try to draw some cards. We draw a Pili-Pala. We draw a Cultivation. They get in for 1,000,000. They ninja picking up the Miscreant. So if I draw an untapped green source, I could attempt to trick them into thinking what I have is important by casting the Malevolent Rumble, and then they Spell Stutter Sprite, and then I cast a Cultivation. Let's try casting Pili-Pala. See if they counter. Please counter. They didn't counter. Alright, I will attempt to Cultivation. Please don't counter. Oh, whoa, you had the counter. Oh, it's so surprising. Alright, you got it. Their deck did the thing their deck was supposed to do, which was destroy the crud out of my deck. We'll bring in the breath weapons. I think I don't need the engine rats. I don't need... Maybe like the temporal interventions are mid. I need to cut 6 cards though. I really want to be able to land these chrysalises. I think the bitter reunion is not necessary. I would say that the Urborg repossession is probably not necessary here. I need to cut 5 more cards. I think it's the safekeepings. The rest, Pyroblast, Breath Weapon. So then I'm just going to cut the, I guess like 2 temporal interventions. Okay, we'll see if this will work. I want to take a hand that has a lot of lands in it. We are on the play. We have 1 land, mulligan. We have a solid amount of lands. Let's keep. I'll put back the Vault of Whispers. They have no ways. They might have ways to interrupt me. I'll play the landscape and pass the turn. On their end step, I will fetch out a mountain. I can blast their Fairy Seer, play a Colony Garden. Or I can fetch a mountain, play the Wellspring. But then they're free to... Let's grab a mountain. They're free to do their thing on turn 2. I'm just going to play the Wellspring. Try to set up some card draw. Sure, have your ninja. They play another Fairy Seer. They get in. Will you hold up a counter? They're going to ninja with the Moon Circuit Hacker. Okay, I found the breath weapon, so we're just gonna jam it. Bonk. Kill some creatures. They play a land and a Fairy Seer. They have island, double island open, so if I find a just play out the Colony Garden. I was gonna say, like, I could try to go holding up double mountain for Pyroblast when it's getting in for 1. Do you have another ninja? They do not right now, apparently. You have a Viscerous Insight, so let's play the landscape. I can try the Rumble, and then if they counter, I have Pyroblast, and then if they counter back, then I can Viscerous Insight. Or I should just maybe do all this on their end step. They play a land. Gets in for 1. Okay. I will try to Viscerous Insight my Wellspring. I will definitely Pyroblast as an answer. If they go to Spell, I will attempt to counter your Dispel. Looks like they didn't want to play the Spell Stutter, but they had to spell back up. Okay, they play the Spell Stutter. I will fetch for a forest. So they're going to now still Spell Stutter. Everything's gone. I have a Malevolent Rumble now. I could check them with a Duress. Try Malevolent Rumble. We find Colony Garden. Play the Colony Garden. Okay. Colony Garden. We get a little creature. Actually, let's cast the Careful Cultivation on a plant. And then they use an annul. I mean, I didn't have to... I could have just duressed them and then used the spawn to cast the Cultivation. They get in. They've got a ninja. Plays a land. Miscreant. Now they can counter a 3-drop with their Spellstutter Sprite. We have another Viscerous Insight. Let's duress you. See if you want to Spellstutter the Duress. Counterspell of 1 Mind Spellstutter Sprite. So I guess I take the counterspell. They cast of 1 Mind. Fine. Gets in. We'll block with a plant. See, all this was a mistake, because if I had duressed previously, I wouldn't have had to do all this. Kind of a bummer. Whoa, spell stutter sprite on my Viscer's Insight. Okay. Let's play a Wellspring then. Draw a card. Another Vault of Whispers. I will attempt to Viscer's Insight my Wellspring. We find a Pyroblast. So now I can 1, 2, 3. I can Cultivation onto my creature, or I can just pass, block, and then Fanatical the plant. I think I'm going to Fanatical the plant and try to find, I don't know. I need another red source. They're attacking in. This is going to be 3 damage coming in. We block, cast Fanatical, sacrificing the plant. It all resolves. Okay. We're at 8 life. Okay, I have another red source. Red, black. I'll try Wellspring. They cast a null. So if I Cultivation onto my spawn, it can block now. And then I map onto the spawn, hoping to draw, put something on top that matters. Rumble on top. We would not like to put that in the graveyard. So now I can block the ninja with my 2/5. They cast a Harrier Strix. I'm going to try to hit it with a Pyroblast. They flash in a Spellstar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage this turn. I'll try a Malevolent Rumble. I don't know how I win from here though. So we take the Chrysalis, and then we can block, 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 block. Take 3 and die. Or we take the Bitter Reunion. We discard the Landscape and try to hit a Breath Weapon. Okay, I think that's my only out. Discard the Twisted Landscape. So now if I Malevolent Rumble into a Pili-Pala and they have nothing, I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Rumble. Pili-Pala. Okay. Cast the Pili-Pala. The only way this works is if they have nothing. We will Cultivation on the Pili-Pala. Sacrifice my token. Sacrifice the Bitter Reunion. If they're just waiting till right now, they just don't have anything? Okay. Okay. So you're saying there's a chance. We're making a large amount of mana. I cannot believe that I'm still alive. That's really bonkers. Anyway, making mana. Mana being made. Combo time engaged. I will attempt to Fanatical Offering, sacrificing the Vault of Whispers. Seems like they have nothing. Maybe they have Dispel or something. We found the Breath Weapon, so I'll sacrifice the spawn. Make red. Maybe they have I'll cast the Breath Weapon. Wow. We have Viscer's Insights. Cast the Viscer's Insight. Sacrifice the Vault of Whispers. Feel like I made a mistake there. Play the Colony Garden. That gives me another spawn. Another thing to sacrifice to my draw spells. Play the Wellspring. They didn't have anything. Play Rumble. Take the Forest. We get another spawn. We have 12 cards left in library. I'll cast a Viscer's Insight, sacrificing the Wellspring. We draw a land and a Chrysalis. I'll put the Chrysalis on the table. Flashback another Viscer's Insight. Bonk. Draw off the map token. More Chrysalises. Red. We have no more draw spells in the graveyard, so all we're going to have to do is just sit back on these Chrysalises and then see if that'll be good enough. 1 Chrysalis. Oops. Cast the other Chrysalis. And then attack. Woohoo! We win. That was very surprising. I'll try that again, I guess. That was wild. I wonder if I should be bringing in my Troublemaker oofs just as more creatures to put on the table. This hand only has 1 land. We're going to mulligan. Okay. Keep. Put back a landscape. They lead on a Fairy Seer. We do have a red land to go like red-green. We'll go red-green here. We can blow up their ninja. They cast a miscreant into a miscreant. I think I'm just going to kill the miscreant. Play land. Fetch for red. Kill a miscreant so I can't ninja it. They play an island. They get in for 2. We find a Pyroblast. Play my land out. Okay, I guess I'm passing. They play a land. I'm never going to be able to draw lands unless I can get this Wellspring on the table. So I think the only thing I can do is sacrifice this for black and hope that I just top deck a land, or they tap down to just have Wellspring plus Pyroblast backup. If they ninja, I can attempt to Pyro the ninja. Our opponent gets in for 2. Let's see if they will ninja. No ninja. Passing the turn. I think I'm not sacrificing my land, hoping to look for a land. We did not find a land. I guess I have to just try to play an Ichor Wellspring. They cast a null. That is disappointing. They get in for 2. They're going for the ninja. I'll attempt to Pyroblast. Okay, ninja dead. They get to replay the Fairy Seer. Now I can Stormshriek Feral, discarding the Eviscerer's Insight. If I draw a land, I can hardcast the Writhing Chrysalis. We did draw land. I'll cast a Writhing Chrysalis. Then the next turn I have Stormshriek Feral plus Pyroblast. And then I have a 3/3 flying dragon blocker. They get in for 2. They have another ninja. I go to 11. Can I find anything? We have a breath weapon. Sacrifice, red. Cast breath weapon. They have a dispel. I will attempt to counter. Breath weapon resolves. Pass the turn. They have a Fairy Seer now. Didn't seem like they had a Hydroblast before, so if I get a land, I can put the Stormshriek on the table. Otherwise, I have to Stormshriek, discard the Eviscerer's Insight. I mean, using the flush out. They went bottom, so they're looking for something. We find a landscape. Let's cast our dragon. They have a counterspell. Nice. That sucks for me. When it gets in for 1, does not have a ninja. Well, let's sacrifice this for green. They flash in Sprite. We're going to channel the Cultivation. Then on their upkeep, I'm going to Eviscerer's Insight it. Another spell starter sprite for my opponent. They've seen a lot of good stuff in the top 17 cards. We have a land that doesn't really do anything for me. Grab a forest. Pass the turn. They hardcast of one mind. We're currently at 8. We'll go to 5 here. What a brutal beating. I feel like even if I find a creature, we're just dead. On my turn, I play out the plant token. We're going to Careful Cultivation. We're going to Eviscerer's Insight, sacrificing the plant. I mean, it was pretty sick how we were able to recover in previous games, but this one looks unwinnable. Currently at 5, so a ninja kills me. Not dead somehow. Cast a Wellspring. I'm out of here. Round 4 on the play. I'm going to keep. So I'm going to go landscape for a red. I can play the Pili-Pala on turn 2. If I randomly draw into the right stuff, we could just win. My opponent plays Vault of Whispers into a Blood Fountain. So actually I want to go green, probably. Let's play out the Wellspring and draw a card. We can find a safekeeping. Not good. I feel like the Temporal Intervention is just not good enough. Gonna discard it. We draw a Repossession. Dang, can't do anything about that. So I'll play the Pili-Pala. Opponent plays a Mountain. They're gonna go ahead and attack for 2. I decide not to attack, not to block. What do we find? Chrysalis. Alright, I guess I'm attacking. The major problem here is just not finding lands. I think that this build is just not land heavy enough. The Fanatical Offering. Plays a Swamp. They map. They find a refurb. I'm going to keep playing this out, but I'm not feeling this deck very much. They get in for 3. I'm at 15. Can I find a land? I finally find a land. Let's flush out, discarding the safekeeping. Find Malevolent Rumble. They get in for 3. Okay. Casting a Writhing Chrysalis here. I need to just rip the right cards. Insight. Let's Eviscerer's Insight the Wellspring. We draw 3. Play the Colony Garden. Pass the turn. We have 8 cards in hand. I think I discard, I guess, the Chrysalis. If I rumble into the correct card, then I can make infinite mana, get the Chrysalises back with a Repossession. Into the Careful Cultivation, I mean. Opponent plays a second Chrysalis. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Although, like Gixian Infiltrator. Okay. Not good. Gets in for a lot. I will block. They're representing a cast down with the Vault of Whispers plus the mana from the spawns. Need a Cultivation off the top. Did not find it. So what's my plan? I can Malevolent Rumble. Looking for the cultivation, I suppose. Just find Colony Garden. Okay, not great. Lay out another Colony Garden. I think my opponent's just going to win here. Urborg. We block and block 3. I think I'm just dead. We're gonna go to the next game. How far down was my cultivation? Can't find it. Okay. So maybe Troublemaker Oof is fine. Like a singleton over 1 engine rat. Okay. We're on the play in round 4, game 2. I've got not too much going on. I think I'm still gonna keep it. We have 2 land drops into a Wellspring. Play the Cliffgate on black. I'm not sure how I feel about the Cliffgates. Like, we don't really need red most of the time. We need black-green. Play Colony Garden. They Wildfire their land. I guess we have a Duress, but I don't think this is a position to play it. Play the Cliffgate on black. Next turn I can Eviscerator the Wellspring plus cast the Temporal Intervention. Opponent plays a Gixian Infiltrator and a Refurbished Familiar. I'm gonna discard the Safekeeping. Let's Eviscerator's Insight, draw 3. Then we'll play 2 black sources. Black, hit you with the Temporal Intervention. We'll get rid of your Fanatical. Hit you with the Duress. Get rid of your Fanatical. Pass the turn. They've got Spellbomb, land. That's it. Writhing Chrysalis, of course. Can't forget about the Writhing Chrysalis. Then they're going to play out the Spellbomb. I guess the Spellbomb can get rid of my Eviscerator's Insight. That's kind of a bummer. So maybe I just play land, pass the turn, block, and then sacrifice. Maybe this is 3. I think if I block the Gixian, it's better. They found an Eviscerator's Insight off the top. Well played. Nice. They had nothing in hand. They rip it. Slagwood's Bridge already played out. I don't know, they play it. They have 2 cards in hand. They get in for a large amount. I will block. And then draw. Sacrifice. Draw land. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cast Writhing Chrysalis. Sacrifice. Make it bigger. Temporal Intervention you. They go cast down. So I have to Fanatical my Chrysalis. I think I'm dead again. How do you beat these decks? Not with this one. This deck is clunky. Okay, on to round 5. We're here in round 5. We have nothing going on in our hand. We're going to mulligan. And this one's a 1-lander, so let's mulligan again. Here I've got a Rumble. I can Eviscerator's Insight that. Let's get rid of a couple of random protection spells. Opponent is very kind. They said they like the videos. They said best content creator. Aw. Thanks, Kiki Mealy. You're probably going to destroy me. They're on Jund again. Let's see if I can pick up a win versus a Jund deck. So this turn we are going to sacrifice for green. We'll just get rid of the Rumble here. Plays a Great Furnace. Maybe it's Affinity. Probably is Affinity. We'll get a Forest. We'll untap. We'll play out a Wellspring. We redrew the Safekeeping. We draw. Finding a Rumble. I think I just Eviscerator's Insight the Wellspring on this coming turn. Our opponent plays a Wellspring. And a Draw Swords Bridge and a Mirror Enforcer. So there's Affinity things happening over there. Maybe we want like lots of Troublemaker Oofs in the sideboard. How can I survive this one? Let's start by drawing 3 cards. That's always a good start. Find a Duress. No more lands. Where are all my lands? That is insane in the membrane. I mean, I can Rumble, find a green, Rumble again, Intervention you. We're getting hit for 6, so we're on a 3-turn clock. Plus they have Galvanic Blast in their deck. Opponent has a makeshift munitions. I can't even beat that. It's so scary. All right, we're gonna go to game 2. Cannot beat the munitions. Wow. Darn. Deck needs to come online faster. We want the Troublemaker Oofs, obviously. Other than that, nothing's that good. We can maybe cut an Engine Rat. And then I guess we just cut 2 Engine Rats and try to win in a fair manner. I feel like we have way too many interaction spells and not enough lands and card draw. Can't even get going. This is fine because we have Cliffgate on green, Rumble, we can sacrifice and Temporal Intervention them, green. We're putting in place a Draws Forge Bridge. We have a Troublemaker Oof. I can Malevolent Rumble. I found Pili-Pala. So I think I just have to take the Pili-Pala and try to win. Pass. They have a Duress. That's a bummer. Maybe they take my Duress, my Temporal Intervention. Takes the Cultivation. If they don't play a land, they're pretty screwed here. Plays Bajuka Bog. I guess they are playing a wacky list. So we're going to get rid of their... Because we had the Urborg Repossession to get back the other thing. We'll go green, black, bargain, sacrifice, exile your land, and then go land, hit you with the Temporal Intervention. We'll get rid of your, let's see, Wellspring. So they've got Furnace, Wellspring is gone. They have Galvanic in hand. Turn target, okay, another permanent. So I can go red, Bitter Reunion, and discard the Pili-Pala because I can get it back with the Urborg. Play out the landscape. Then we'll attack with the Troublemaker Oof. And also just Urborg Repossession my... They're going to Galvanic it, and I can Viscerous Insight my Troublemaker Oof. That was pretty good. Return another target permanent card. So I can Repossession my Pili-Pala. Oh, come on. Another Duress. So Galvanic is gone. Furnace is out of their hand. My Urborg is gone. We have the Viscerous Insight. I guess I fetch for a red source and then play the Colony Garden, play the Wellspring. They play a Great Furnace. Let's fetch. I guess it's hard to say. I still think red is fine. Play out the Wellspring. We have Viscerous Insight in the graveyard. Viscerous Insight in hand. I'll play the Vault of Whispers. Pass. 5 mana is not enough to go off from hand. Opponent plays a Blood Fountain. That's 4 artifacts on the table. Your Enforcer costs 3 right now. Going to Eviscerator the Wellspring. We draw a Cliffgate. Any more Troublemaker Oofs? No. Play another Wellspring then. We have a Fanatical. Play the Colony Garden. I'll pass. I feel much more in it here. Opponent plays a Wellspring. We'll yield until the next end step. They cast a Refurbished Familiar. I'll get rid of a random land. Fanatical Offering, sacrificing the Wellspring. Draw 3 again. We draw a Twisted Landscape. A Malevolent Rumble. I find the Pili-Pala. Let's try Malevolent Rumble. Another Pili-Pala. Okay. So with 5 mana in play, I'll play the Colony Garden. Pass the turn. Our opponent plays out their Mirror Enforcer. Then they're going to Reckoner's Bargain the Wellspring. Gain 2 life, draw 3 cards. And do they have a land? Reckoner's Bargain is gone. They get in for 2. I wonder if we could just play, let's sacrifice Viscerous Insight, sacrificing the map. I wonder if we could play like an Affinity build where we just go landscapes and stuff. I can oof your Mirror Enforcer or your land. If I hit a... Let's try the Rumble, looking for Cultivation. Found the Careful Cultivation. Okay. Now we just lay out the Pili-Pala. Cultivation. Put it on top. Give my Pili-Pala haste. And make him infinite mana. Zoom. Combo time. Let's untap. I still have the dragon in my deck. Going to cycle landscape. Another Cultivation. We can play another Pili-Pala. Cultivation on that one. I think I bargain. Oof. Sacrificing the plant. Get rid of your land. Viscer's Insight. Sacrifice a plant. Our opponent concedes. Okay. Cool with me. We had some large amounts of mana. I can't see what was on top of my deck. We're going to try to make it happen again. Stormshriek Feral saves the day. Come on. Okay, let's keep this. If I can duress their turn to play, maybe that will be strong enough. What just happened? Our opponent chooses to play second. Let's duress. Wellspring, cast down, bargain. I think I just take the Wellspring here. Okay, Wellspring is gone. Maybe they play out the Bajuka Bog. Play Cliffgate on green. They play out the Nile Spellbomb turn 1. Cliffgate on green. Pass the turn. So we have a Pili-Pala plus protection. Plays the Bajuka Bog. Another Pili-Pala. I'll play out the Wellspring. Draw a card. There's the Cultivation. So I'm going to play the Pili-Pala. The Reckoner's Bargain the Spellbomb. Okay. Do you find a land? They found a land. Mist Vault Bridge. I'm gonna Eviscer's Insight the Wellspring. Finding an untapped land. Let's play out the tap land on black. Pass the turn. They can play the Mirror Enforcer. It would cost them 4 mana. They start with a Thoughtcast. The Bargain's out of their hand. The Spellbomb's out of their hand. We have another Cultivation. So I can just go Pili-Pala, Pili-Pala, play 2 of them. Pili-Pala. Play another Pili-Pala. Pili-Power. They have cast down. We're going to, I guess, safekeeping. No attacks. If I have an untapped land, I just double Pili-Pala. They play Duress. Maybe they take the Cultivation. But now I'm dead to another cast down, I guess. Plays a Thoughtcast. They don't have enough for a cast down. Plays a tap land. Plays a Refurb. So we can discard the Cultivation. We don't need it. They took my Rumble. Okay. We can draw 4 cards here. We'll start with Fanatical on the plant and then Insight the Fanatic map token. Our opponent says they misclicked. Play the Pili-Pala. I mean, we're going to careful it. Careful Cultivate. Make infinite mana. Okay. Now I will make a black. We'll start with Fanatical on the plant token. Fanatical offering the plant token. We draw 2. We make a map. Find a Troublemaker Oof. Okay. I think I have Viscer's Insight. Sacrifice the map token. Make a red here. Then I can cycle this landscape. If I find the dragon, I can oof. Let's cast the Temporal Trespass. They had Fanatical Enforcer. I'll take the Fanatical offering. I think I just have to cast the Troublemaker Oof and then bargain it. Maybe I can just Eviscer's Insight, sacrifice the Pili-Pala. We have Urborg Repossession, so we can bring back some things. I guess I can cast the Troublemaker Oof then. Wait. And then bargain the Oof. Wait, this doesn't make any sense. I want to Urborg Repossession, bring back Pili-Pala and the Wellspring, and then Eviscer's Insight the Wellspring. So I have to make black. It's hard to see. Target Pili-Pala, target Wellspring. Cast the Wellspring. There's a Writhing Chrysalis. That's very good. Gives us some more things to do. Chrysalis hits the table. More spawns. Come on, let's see what we can accomplish. Fanatical Offerings out of their hand. We Visitors inside the Wellspring. Finding another Cultivation. Fanatical Offering. I'm just drawing cards. Fanatical Offering. We'll sacrifice the spawn. The Urborg Repossession was kind of sweet, actually, so that's an interesting card to be playing. That helps me to rebuy both parts of the combo, as well as to get back some of my, like, good draw cards. Find another Wellspring. I get the draw card. Sort of out of action. I probably should have mapped onto the Pili-Pala first, because this is at sorcery speed, so that was a mistake. That could have shown me what's on top of the deck. Map onto the Pili-Pala. We'll put the Pili-Pala in the graveyard. We'll make black. Temporal Intervention you. I'll take your Toxin Analysis, I guess. Play a Pili-Pala. And then we'll Careful Cultivation on that other one. Lay out a Cliffgate on black. And I'll go ahead and attack in for 5, or 3. Bam. This thing has, we can give it indestructible with the Tameo safekeeping. So I have a decent amount of attackers. My combo is just like this mid-range nonsense right now. Safekeeping on the Pili-Pala in response to a duress from the opponent. We know exactly what's in their hand. They play out Mirror Enforcer. I'll play the Calming Garden. We're going to attack in. If they won't, well, maybe I shouldn't have attacked with a 3-5. They just concede. All right, well, GG's Gigimile. And I will see everybody in the next video. Hopefully I can manipulate a Pili-Pala list that's a little bit more lean and mean. This one felt a little like mega clunky to me. So I'll figure it out. I'll see you in the next video.